Welcome to our video on the top 10 U.S. cities in Vermont most affected by climate change. As the impacts of climate change become increasingly visible across the nation, Vermont is no exception. In this video, we'll explore the specific cities in the Green Mountain State that are experiencing significant environmental challenges. From rising temperatures to altered precipitation patterns, we'll dive into how these communities are coping with the effects of climate change. Join us as we highlight Montpelier, Lyndonville, and beyond, shedding light on their unique struggles and adaptations. 1. Montpelier. Montpelier, the capital of Vermont, has faced considerable challenges due to climate change, particularly with flooding. In July 2023, the city witnessed heavy rainfall that led to significant flooding, causing widespread damage and evacuations. The floodwaters overwhelmed local infrastructure, highlighting the city's vulnerability to such events. Residents had to navigate closed roads and disrupted services, which affected daily life and business operations. The city is nestled in a valley, which makes it more prone to flooding as the surrounding hills channel water into the town. As a result, Montpelier has been actively working on flood mitigation strategies, although the unpredictable nature of climate change poses ongoing challenges. 2. Lyndonville. Lyndonville, a charming village in Vermont, has also been hit hard by climate change. In July 2023, it experienced severe flooding that underscored its vulnerability to intense storms. The village's proximity to rivers and streams makes it particularly susceptible to flash floods, which can occur with little warning. The 2023 flood event led to significant disruption, with roads washed out and homes inundated. This incident forced residents to confront the increasing frequency and severity of weather events. The community has been working together to improve disaster preparedness, but the unpredictable nature of climate change makes planning a complex task. 3. St. Johnsbury Street. Johnsbury, located in Caledonia County, has seen its share of climate-induced challenges. Flash floods have become a recurring issue, with residents often advised to shelter in place during severe weather events. The town's location, nestled among hills, makes it a natural basin for floodwaters. In recent years, the frequency of these flash floods has increased, causing concern among residents and local authorities. The community has been exploring ways to bolster its infrastructure to better handle such events, but the pace of climate change poses significant hurdles. The impact on daily life has been profound, affecting everything from transportation to local businesses. 4. Barre. In July 2023, Barre experienced catastrophic flooding that left a mark on the city's landscape and its residents. The floodwaters caused significant damage to infrastructure, homes, and businesses, prompting widespread evacuations. The city's location in a valley makes it prone to flooding, as rainwater collects and swells local rivers. This event highlighted the urgent need for improved flood defenses and emergency response strategies. Residents are becoming increasingly aware of the risks posed by climate change, leading to community-driven initiatives aimed at reducing vulnerability. Nevertheless, the challenge remains daunting as climate patterns continue to shift unpredictably. 5. Londonderry. Londonderry, a quaint town in Vermont, faces recurring threats from climate change in the form of flooding. The town experienced a particularly devastating flood in July 2023, which led to evacuations and significant property damage. The event underscored the town's susceptibility to severe weather, driven by climate change. The local community has been proactive in seeking solutions, such as improved drainage systems and community awareness programs. However, the cost and complexity of such measures pose ongoing challenges. The impact of climate change is felt not only in terms of physical damage but also in the psychological toll on residents who live with the constant threat of future events. 6. Weston. Weston, alongside Londonderry, faced severe flooding in July 2023. The rising waters forced many residents to evacuate, leaving behind homes and possessions. The town's beautiful yet vulnerable location makes it particularly susceptible to flooding, as rivers and streams swell during heavy rainfall. This event prompted a re-evaluation of local infrastructure and emergency preparedness. Residents and local officials have been working together to develop strategies to mitigate future risks, although the unpredictability of climate change presents significant challenges. The community's resilience is evident, but the road to adaptation is long and fraught with difficulty. 7. Andover. In July 2023, Andover was another town that faced severe flooding, with residents requiring rescue operations due to washed-out roads and rising waters. The event highlighted the town's vulnerability to extreme weather, exacerbated by climate change. The local community has been grappling with the challenges of improving infrastructure and emergency response. The cost of such measures, combined with the uncertainty of future climate patterns, makes planning difficult. Despite these challenges, Andover's residents remain committed to building a more resilient community, drawing on local knowledge and resources to adapt to the changing climate. 8. Craftsbury, known for its rural charm, experienced significant flooding in August 2024. The event led to the displacement of residents and underscored the town's vulnerability to severe weather events. The community faced considerable disruption, with roads and homes damaged by the floodwaters. This incident has prompted a renewed focus on emergency preparedness and infrastructure improvements. The town's residents have been actively engaged in discussions about how to adapt to the changing climate, although the path forward is not without challenges. The impact of climate change is a constant presence, influencing everything from local policies to community life. 9. Peacham. In August 2024, Peacham was affected by severe flooding, with residents losing homes and possessions. The event underscored the town's susceptibility to climate-induced weather events, driven by changing climate patterns. The community has been working to improve its resilience, focusing on both physical infrastructure and community preparedness. The challenges are significant, as the cost of necessary improvements is often beyond the reach of a small rural town. Nevertheless, the residents of Peacham are determined to adapt and thrive, drawing on their strong sense of community and collective resolve. 10. Calais, another Vermont town, experienced heavy rainfall in July 2023 that led to flooding. The event caused significant property damage and required rescue operations for affected residents. The town's location and geography make it particularly vulnerable to such events, as rainwater quickly accumulates and floods low-lying areas. The community has been actively working on improving its flood defenses and emergency response capabilities. However, the unpredictability of climate change makes planning a complex and ongoing challenge. The impact of these events is felt not only in terms of physical damage but also in the community's sense of security and well-being.